Child Show is brought to you by our friends at Prism Design Company. Are you looking for a cool new logo for your business? Do you need some new graphics for your website or blog? Our friends at the Prism Design Company are a premier graphic design company that can handle all your needs. You can find Prism Design Company on Facebook or contact them directly at 618-534-4291. All the great graphics on the Roger the Wild Child Show are brought to you by our friends at the Prism Design Company.
And now a man who has proof that UFOs are real. It's Roger the Wild Child.
Let's get this party started! Ready, set, go!
On the air everywhere.
It's the Roger the Wild Child Show!
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Roger the Wild Child. We are in full effect. We have an amazing show planned tonight. Jimmy Knight is with me, Deborah Driggs, and of course, weather sensation, or YouTube sensation, weatherman, Frankie McDonald. All coming up right here, right now.
The Roger the Wild Child Show!
He is a weather sensation. He is.
I think so.
I think he's just a sensation, really.
He is.
Yeah.
I mean, Frankie is just a sensation. I mean,
he is.
Nobody tells the weather better than our very own Frankie McDonald.
I'm doing great so far. It's confirmed it's going to bring a lot of rain in Japan and rain showers in Japan and Europe, like UK and the rest of Europe. It's going to bring a lot of rain showers and warm temperatures. And it's going to be cooler than average temperatures in the eastern United States and Great Lakes region. And it's going to bring a lot of hot weather in western United States, like Los Angeles and places like that. It's going to bring a whole lot of rain in southeastern United States and America, like Florida, Georgia, and all these places. Lots of thunderstorms. And South America is going to bring a lot of rain in Amazon rainforest and thunderstorms. And South Africa, Botswana is really, really dry right now. New Zealand's getting much colder right now. Indonesia's getting lots of rain and all these as well. And
Send some of it to the Midwest, Frankie. The Midwest is drought.
Frankie, I have a question. I have two questions.
Yes.
One, did you get my present?
Not yet. I got to go to the post office road check.
Okay, and two, has your followership gone up since you've been doing the show with me?
That means I give you guys like on social media.
I mean, since you've been on the Roger the Wild Child show, has your followers gone up?
Not yet.
Wait, no. The answer is yes.
The question is, Deborah,
As ours.
since Frankie's been on our show, has your followers gone up?
Yeah.
Yes. By the way,
Okay.
because last night we did an Instagram live.
Yes.
And Frankie, all your friends are following me, so thank you.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. It was like
so
an
much fun.
improv Instagram live we did last
Really?
night.
And that's
Wow.
the way that, that's the way you do it, because you
Yeah,
just
it
got to
is.
be, it's like you got to be real. There's nothing to, I think that's what people want right now. They want like reality. They want to see you doing what you really do. And we were just doing what we really do, hanging out.
Yeah. That's awesome that a lot of Frankie's followers were checking you out.
Yeah.
Hey, Frankie, what is the deal in the Midwest? I need to know because our grass is brown. There's a drought. There's no rain in sight. I believe the whole time in spring, I've heard 2 claps of thunder, and it's in the middle of June almost. And I believe the whole spring pattern, we've had 2 claps of thunder in the Midwest. What's going on? What's going on, Frankie? Tell me.
Yes, warm air and cold air clashing each other.
Yeah, but why aren't we getting rain? Is that going to be the pattern all summer, like a drought?
Yes, especially California, that can trigger a lot of fires.
No.
Really? No.
No.
You were
Stop
talking about
it.
that last week.
Oh my
But
God.
the-
Do you
Yeah.
know that I've almost had to evacuate twice? We have a joke. It's not really a joke, but we're like, the Getty's going to burn, like burn, Getty, burn. I mean, the Getty's right behind
Yeah.
me. And like, it's been on fire 3 times in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Like where we've almost had to evacuate. So please,
Wow, that's crazy.
no, let's all say a prayer tonight. No fires in California. We've had enough.
No fires in
No
Cali.
fires.
Nope. Absolutely not.
Especially
Yeah.
in Malibu. Oh my God. We've been hit so hard.
Yeah.
Frankie, what are you doing over there?
I think all my social media to you guys.
I follow everything you do.
Yeah, I do too, Frankie. I'm watching you all the time, man.
I comment. You comment on all my stuff. You're always saying, I like this photo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, Frankie's always on social media. It doesn't matter what time of the day I'm logging on and I see Frankie online and he's doing Instagram Live. He's got all his followers. He's doing all these shows.
That's because he's got a 500,000 followers.
It's crazy. Right? Frankie is Mr. Popular, no doubt.
It's a full-time job, like we always talked about.
45,000 followers on Instagram. I got 138,000 followers on Twitter. On my Facebook, I got 74,000 followers on my Facebook public figure page with a blue check mark.
And,
I have 100.
And you take care of all of your social media yourself. Like you do it all yourself.
Wow.
See, I get stressed out doing one post. Like I'm like, oh my God, like there's like 1,000 filters or there's 1,000 effects you can use. And
yeah, but you're working TikTok pretty good, Deb.
I just started.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good at that.
I just started.
She's learning the whole TikTok thing.
I'm learning TikTok. Watch out.
And I keep getting notifications. Deborah Driggs has a new video. I'm like, oh, cool. I got to go check it out.
Yeah. Well, Frankie, thanks so much. I forgot to play
that means one of these days you'll get Bass Guy on your show. One of these days you will contact him.
We will. We promise.
Not a problem, Frankie.
All right,
thanks, Frankie.
Bye for now.
We'll bet that you wished you knew if skies will be cloudy or blue. Don't worry or fret, cause your best bet is our weatherman who has plenty to say to you.
Thanks, Frankie.
Bye, Frankie. We'll see you next week, Frankie.
Bye, Frankie. I love him.
I love him too. He's amazing.
He's got such great energy. I don't know how he does it. He's so talented.
He really is.
He really is. Like
he does.
He's so prepared every week.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, he's prepared.
He would be a great social media manager for sure,
right? You match his book.
I match the book.
That's awesome.
And you got your top that matches the black and yellow. I mean, come on.
It's like a bumblebee effect going on here.
It's something.
Not the butterfly, the bumblebee.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we have an exciting show.
Oh my God, we do. We got two amazing artists. We have a legend and we have an artist on the rise. I mean, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a fun show.
We got to diversify a little bit. You know, we're having like rock stars every week. We need to like maybe bring in on a scientist or something. Or like, you know.
I would look stupid the whole show. I would just be like.
I'll handle it. I'll handle it from here.
She's got it. She's got it.
Because they would be talking about something. I'd be like, what?
We need like a Bitcoin. We need more Bitcoin talk right now.
Yeah, there you go.
Seriously.
Okay, so we're gonna bring on our first guest. He's just a rock legend.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And he's controversial. I love it.
He is controversial. He's a world-renowned bassist. He's worked with artists like Jackson Browne, Carole King, Phil Collins, Linda Ronstadt, and James Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't ask for a great group of artists to work with. And
best. I mean, some of the best there. And not even just the best at their craft, but successful. I mean,
and he's done soundtracks for like movies and TV shows, and we got him. Yeah, he's like,
yeah. Okay, like, Leland.
Okay. For those listening audio only, Leland likes to give the bird and receive the bird. So he'll tell us all about his book, but it's just, amazing.
I love that. Like, that's a book that's right up my alley.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my copy.
So yes, let's please welcome onto the show, Mr. Leland Sklar. Lee, how you doing?
I am completely adequate.
That is great. That was the answer I was looking for.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, I've been sitting outside your door for 2 weeks waiting for you to invite me in. I'm so glad.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's perfect. I know. Yeah, we got a lineup, man. Watch out.
I'm telling you.
It's crazy time. Everybody wants to get out now, and the first place they all want to go is to your show.
Yes, they do. I
Perfect.
hope so.
I mean, it's great. I mean, everybody's like emailing me, hey, do you have a spot open? And I'm like trying to book like 3-4 weeks out now. It's crazy.
That's great.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Great,
It's
though.
a good problem to have, people. It's
Yeah.
a really good
Growth
problem
is
to have.
good,
I like,
Roger.
Yes.
Growth is good.
I like
Um,
this
Yeah.
problem.
I'm not complaining.
Well, Leland, I'm gonna go right into my first question because first of all, I'm a geek and I'm just admired to be actually talking to you. I'm
That's
honored.
saying it's
Yeah.
very
Thanks, Jeff.
subtle. Very subtle. You're a geek.
I'm a
So-
geek. That's it.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
I'm seriously a music geek, and I'm just honored to be talking to you, Leland. I would like if you could, and you don't
Yeah.
need to go into a lot of details, but tell us about that your work with James Taylor and how, because I was reading about that story and just how you and him were really just kind of hanging out, and then all of a sudden, you were playing for him, and then James just went boom. And I don't how did you feel during that time of like hanging out with somebody, and then all of a sudden the next moment they are James Taylor, a superstar everywhere?
Well, it was very strange. I was in the late '60s. I was in a band here, a hard rock band in Los Angeles called Wolfgang, and our drummer had a friend who's owned a studio here in LA called Crystal Recording Studios, and he would come and hang out. His name was John Fishbeck, and he would hang out with us at our rehearsals. And one of the rehearsals, he brought a friend of his, an old buddy of his, who had just gotten back from England, and that turned out to be James. And James hung out with us for a couple of days, and that was kind of it. And then James, his first album, his first American James, Sweet Baby James, came out, and he got a gig at the Troubadour here in Los Angeles, and they had 3/4 of a band. They had Danny Korchmar, who was a childhood friend of James's. They had been in a band together in the '60s, and Russ Kunkel on drums, and Carole King on piano, but they didn't have a bass player. And
Wow.
James remembered me from a rehearsal, and they asked me, and I was still going to Cal State Northridge here, and I was still in college, and they asked me to play this gig at the Troubadour, which let's do it, and assumed it would be one gig, and then all of a sudden James is on the cover of Time magazine as the new kind of the new messiah for a new sound here, the West Coast sound, and so that one gig turned into like over 50 years of my life, and it's still plowing the fields out here,
Yeah, that's amazing. It's just I mean, I read it the other day, and it's just an amazing story because I know of you playing with like Phil Collins, like we were talking earlier. I saw you in 1990, the But Seriously tour. I saw it here in Chicago at the Rosemont Horizon. So, and again, when Roger said you were going to be on the show, I'm like I know you, but I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, I remember the beard and I'm going, I know I saw him at a concert I was at, and I know, and I couldn't remember what concert. And then I was like, Googling and looking through videos, and Phil Collins' But Seriously tour came up on YouTube. There was a snippet, and there you are playing. I'm like, that's
And that was in 1990.
Yeah.
What month?
You weren't even born yet.
I was pretty popular in 1990.
Yeah, you were. Yes, you were. Yeah.
So do you got the super glue on your beard, or how? I mean, how do you put that on?
It's thumbtacks.
Oh, that works.
Yeah.
Does everybody want you to play Santa Claus every year?
Oh no!
And, the real fun thing is like
It's like the perfect Santa Claus beard.
Well, when you're going through the supermarket around Christmas and people come by when they got a little kid in the cart, and kids
And you're like, hey.
Yeah, exactly. Can you tell my kid that they're not going to get gifts for Christmas?
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. Is I lean over and quietly, whisper in the kid's ear, "You've been horrible. You're not getting." And they're crying like crazy, and the mother's
my
going,
God.
"What did you say?" I said, "Oh, he's adorable little guy."
I have to ask you, have you filled in
Yeah.
for ZZ Top?
No, but Billy Gibbons is a good friend of mine. But I'll tell you a real quick, funny story. My wife and I are involved with an organization called Canine Companions for Independence that places and raises service dogs for people in need. And every year we do a big fundraiser, and I call all my friends and get them to donate instruments and stuff to it. So I called Billy and got him to Billy Gibbons to donate one of his guitars. And
Nice.
I needed a picture, and he was on the road, and I couldn't get the picture from him. So I Googled him up, and there was a big article about Dusty Hill, the bass player in ZZ Top. And I'm reading this article, going, "Oh, interesting article." And as I scroll down, there's a picture of me, and not Dusty.
What?
So I did a screenshot and sent it to Billy, and
Nice.
he wrote back.
Guess what, you guys? That happens with me and Angelina Jolie all the time.
I love it.
She should be so lucky.
Ah,
Thank you. Yes, I was looking for the phrase and I couldn't figure out what I was going to say. I was going to be
When
like,
you
"There's
say
no way."
she, do you mean Angelina or do you
No.
mean Deborah?
Deborah, like Angelina should be so lucky. Yeah. Have you? I don't want to harp on the beard because the beard is
Yeah,
a
go
trademark,
ahead. Whatever
obviously,
you
of
wanna
yours.
harp on.
Yeah. Did you? I'm telling you, I'm just in awe right now. Did you always have that, or did you just kind of grow it in and then it became your trademark type of look?
Yeah, kind of. I just like when I was lucky. Number one, that I come from Eastern European stock, so I started shaving really young. And but the thing that was really great was when I was like 14, every summer would come and I would grow a beard so I could go play adult clubs and not
Nice.
not get hassled about it. And when I graduated high school, I kind of just went to hell with it and just let it go. And I've saved a lot of time and aggravation in my life. And,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a signature without being intended to be a signature. It saved me from having to have business cards.
In the time that you've had this beard, have you ever thought about shaving it?
No, but people around me always give me, hassle me about it. And I just go, every time somebody asks me if I'm going to shave it, it adds another year that I'm going to keep it.
No, I'm glad you've never shaved it because first of all,
you can't.
I mean, you're legendary as being a bassist, but that look, I mean, everybody knows you. If you've been in a music, if you've been at a concert where you've played with the band, everybody knows you.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, the beard is so, and your work is so awesome, but the beard and the work makes you stand out. Like everybody knows you and you're a legend. And yeah,
it's a legume, not a legend. It's a legume.
So speaking of legends, Phil Collins, how did that relationship develop?
Well, I knew who Phil was through Genesis, and he knew who I was. But we had never met before, and we got called. Lee Rittenauer, the great jazz guitarist, hired both Phil and I to work on one of his albums, and that was the first time we ever played. And after that, Phil contacted me and asked me if I could do he had a solo project and he wanted to know if I could do it, but I was already committed to a James Taylor tour at that point and I couldn't do it. But I said, if you get another opportunity, I would love to work with you at some point. And he called me in 1984 and said, can you come to London and do his No Jacket Required album? And then we spent all 1985 on the road. And we just hit it off. It was a great relationship. And we just a few months ago, it's been over a year now before the pandemic, but we did his Not Dead Yet tour and we were on the road.
Nice.
Yeah.
We were out for almost 2 years.
Wow.
And
I'm a diehard Phil Collins and Genesis fan. Yeah.
Me too.
I love Phil.
Yeah.
I love Phil.
I love that 3 Sides Live album. Oh my God, such a great album.
Did you ever tour with Genesis or was it just Phil?
No, because they're self-contained.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
Okay.
They're getting ready to hit the road, I think, in September.
I thought about mortgaging the house to go see the show, but
it better be a big house. They're charging a lot.
I really do. I honestly want to go see them because I really do feel this will be the last time that they're going to tour the States. At least I just feel that.
Yeah.
And I would love to see them again. I would love to see Phil again because it's been, a long time since I've seen him in concert in Genesis, obviously. So I would love to go see them again. I just don't know if I can swing it. I just don't.
His son is playing drums with them now.
Yeah.
Who he played on the tour that we finished. And when we started the tour, Nick was 16 and killing it. He is so good. And he just keeps getting better and better. So for the Genesis tour, it's going to be pretty amazing with him.
I'm bummed that Phil can't play drums anymore. He's such a. Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, I think I really think it's probably one of the biggest losses in his life. I mean, other than I think it is. I think the divorces, but I think him not being able to play drums has really put him in that depression that he was in for a while. But I mean, he's just one of the best drummers ever. Absolutely. I mean, ever. Absolutely. His stuff with Brand X. Oh my God, some of that shit was just phenomenal. I've got I just picked up all the Brand X albums from a record store, and I'm going to be jamming them this week because his drumming is just fantastic. So.
Okay, enough about Phil Collins. We're talking to Leland here.
Right? Glad you brought it up.
Come on, man. Leland, I want to ask you, what is the best show you ever played? There's got to be one show that just stands out that you're like, oh God, I wish I could play that show again.
Well, there's been so many. I mean, that's where the good fortune of half a century of doing this constantly. But I'll tell you, one of the most enjoyable shows we ever played. There's a festival that's outside of London called. It's at a property called Nebworth, and they do a big concert there. And there's a YouTube video of us with Phil and also with Genesis playing Nebworth in 1990. But it was one of these shows that Page and Plant, Pink Floyd, McCartney, Elton John, Clapton, everybody was on this bill, and it was just one of those things where you're just kind of going, holy crap. I mean, it was like, you're like a kid in a candy store, just seeing every hero that you've ever had is on this bill. But, some of the most enjoyable shows I've done are like, small clubs, just the intimacy of a small room and, being almost to be able to touch the audience, physically. It's really cool. So it runs the whole gamut for me. Everything has its own. And then touring with Phil, but then all the years like running on Empty tour with Jackson Browne and all the stuff with James Taylor and Ronstadt, but then also touring with Billy Cobham and Lyle Lovett and Véronique Sanson. I spent years in France touring with Véronique, who's one of the great staples of French pop music for the past 50 years. And I am always happy to be a working musician.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's got to just be so amazing to look back on all the legends that you've worked with. Yeah. Did you always want to be a musician? Was that was right out of the gate? You knew you were going to be a musician, or did you aspire to do anything else?
I always had a penchant for music. I started studying classical piano when I was 5 years old, and so I was always involved in music. But I was also a science major and an art major, and I thought actually when I met James, I was studying to be a technical, maybe a medical illustrator. Wow. So you just don't know. You come to these forks in the road in your life, and it isn't necessary that maybe you go one way or the other and it's a wrong decision, because chances are both of them could have been the right decision. But for me, I was just fortunate that it was like a perfect storm when I met James, because they were ready for a change in music, and he was the guy that was kind of the benchmark for it. And we were very fortunate that Peter Asher, who was part of the group Peter and Gordon back in the 60s, was managing and producing James. And when we did James, the first album I did with James, I think, was One Man Dog. And they put our names on the album, and which was unheard of before that. Musicians didn't get album credit. And so all of a sudden, when people like Jackson and all these other artists, the singer-songwriter movement started, people would look at James's record as kind of a benchmark of what they aspired to. And they would look at his album and see me and Russ Kunkel and Danny Korchmar and the like. And they'd say, well, if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us. And I kind of went from 0 to 100 in a second in my career. I mean, I had never really, when I started doing studio work, I had only been in a studio once before that doing a demo. So all of a sudden, here you are working around the clock with all these different artists and trying to figure out the ropes of how the hell this all even works at that point. So it's been a pretty amazing adventure. You know, I could go on for I could go on for minutes about my life.
So the Immediate Family, what is that band all about?
Well, in the early 70s with James and all of that, we ended up forming a group called The Section, which was Danny Korchmar, myself, Russ Kunkel, and Craig Durgee, and we were kind of a rock fusion instrumental group. Well, years and years later, up to about 8 years ago, I guess it was, or 7 years ago, we've all played together in different incarnations over all the years. But Danny Korchmar, Cooch, got a Japanese record deal about 7 years ago. And when it came time to fulfill his record deal, he decided to contact the rest of us and see if we were interested. And it became a guitar-driven band. Waddy Wachtel had been working with us, and another member, Steve Postel. So we cut this record for the Japanese label. We had so much fun with it. And when the label wanted to know, you know, what did Cooch, you know, want to call this thing, he said, well, we'll call it The Immediate Family, because that's my immediate family. And since then, we've got a record deal with a company called Quarto Valley Records here in Los Angeles. And we got tons. Denny Tedesco, who made the Wrecking Crew movie, which is really one of the great documentary movies about all the great musicians in Los Angeles during the 60s, we're almost finished with a documentary film about the Immediate Family now. So there's a bunch of stuff going on, and you know, we're just anxious to get out there and kick some ass.
There you go. Here we go. And I do have the video of Cruel Twist, your song. Yeah, and we're going to go ahead and play that for everybody right now. So here we go. The Immediate Family and Cruel Twist on the Roger the Wild Child Show.
Well, you stepped on a lot of toes, and you broke a lot of hearts, and you rubbed up and down against a lot of people's body parts. You thought that loving would be good for you, all that loving and you still feel blue. You think about the life you missed, it's such a cruel twist. Such a cruel twist. Such a cruel, cruel twist. Such a cruel twist. Such a cruel, cruel twist. Yeah, the good and bad things you do gonna come back to you. Once you were sitting pretty and the world was at your command, but reality got gritty, and I don't think that you understand. You thought that time was your best friend, but you're further from the beginning than you are to the end. You think about the life you missed, such a cruel twist. Such a cruel twist. Such a cruel, cruel twist. Such a cruel twist. Such a cruel, cruel twist. The good and bad things you do gonna come back to you. What goes around comes around. You better use your head, 'cause what goes up will surely come down, but you never listen to a word I say. whatever cards get dealt to you. But one thing you know is true. The good and bad things you do gonna come back to you. And it'll be a cruel twist. Such a cruel twist. A cruel twist. Such a cruel twist. Yeah, the good and bad things you do will come back to you.
Happened.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Then it's so
awesome.
abruptly. I'm actually I was hoping it would go a little bit longer because I'm actually buying that album right now. And I'm not kidding you. I would share
so
my
much
screen.
fun with the guys. We have so much fun together. It's
I
just
love
crazy.
it.
Oh, it's awesome. I just bought it. I just bought the EP, Slipping and Sliding. I just bought it. I just purchased it. And I'm going to crank it. I love that type of music. I just love that. The vibe
He's
is
gonna
just
crank it.
August 27th, our actual album that we finished before the pandemic is coming out too. We've done about 4 EPs, but we finished this album, and then needless to say, everything went to hell when COVID hit. So now we're really, the album is coming out, and then we were just in the studio and just cut 10 more tracks.
Nice.
And we're going to hold on to those until the documentary film is finished and released. And so
cool.
There's lots going on, and we start playing live gigs in the end of October, beginning of November on the West Coast first, and then the East Coast. And we just like everybody else, man. We're so horny to rock. It's just
Yeah. I've got to say, this is one of those careers where it's like so cool to see people as they progress in their career, and they can just, like, you could be rocking it at any age and having fun. Like, I love that vibe.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's an ageless career.
It really,
really
is.
What I love is that you know Leland from watching music and watching concerts and just seeing him in, playing with people, but you don't know what type of person Leland is, and Leland's like your best friend right now. I'm just like, this is so awesome. I mean,
he's so cool. He's so cool.
When you know Leland's flipping you off, you know that you're in his circle.
Yeah, I can't wait to go see the show. I'm going to go.
So, Leland, I Googled you, and I was like looking at all your accolades and everything. And I came across this video where you were like really somber, and you're like, hey, I just want to thank all you guys for, helping me out because I got blocked on Facebook. And I'm like, oh my God, wait, what?
What? How did you get blocked on Facebook?
How did you get blocked?
Innocent.
Well, I usually, especially during the past 4 years, I'm really outspoken, and I was usually blocked on Facebook about 150 days a year for just calling out the bullshit that we were going through, and still what we're going through. But I've backed off, and to me, it's always one of those things. Choose your battles wisely. So I'm waiting for some really important stuff.
True point there.
But every day, the thing that's been a challenge for me is when the pandemic began, I started a YouTube channel, and I've posted at least one video every day, every single day since March 23rd of last year. I have almost 600 videos up now.
And I got your link for your YouTube video on the description of this podcast. So whatever platform you're watching or listening on, you can actually see Leland's YouTube channel. The link is there.
It's been really an adventure doing that. And it's a challenge because I'm really addressing my entire career. Everything I've put up is something I've played on. And it's been really fun. And we've got a clubhouse now, and I do 2 live streams a month and a one-on-one day. And kind of overnight, I ended up with there's 157,000 people on the channel. I saw
that. It's amazing.
Yeah. So it's been great. It's a great community, and it was really a great community to evolve during a time of separation for people.
Well, what's great is that
we were saying this earlier when we were all just gabbing before the show, how that's what people are craving right now, is just kind of like that reality of feeling like they're in your living room. And that's kind of what I saw with you. You were just talking to people like, hey, by the way, thanks for like as if we were right there with you. And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, this is interesting because
Well,
Well, what's great is that you embrace that technology. You embrace you're not like an old rocker who says, "Oh, that computer stuff is shit." I mean, you have embraced it fully. Right. You've embraced you've gone with the times, you've embraced the technology, and you're like, hey, look, this is how I talk to people. This is how I can get my music and what I've done to people now. Yeah. And I love that you've done that.
Well, I've always I hate even calling it fans. You know, I just have always really enjoyed communicating with people. Like when we would play, you know, like when we'd be out on a James Taylor tour and we'd be playing like the big sheds, the big outdoor sheds. You know, after sound check, the band would be down in the dressing room hanging out. I'd go out and walk on the lawn and meet people. I'd sit down and eat some
right on
with people.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, I've developed friendships, you know, that are gone on for decades just by, you know, making yourself available to people. I've never felt there, you always get there's an element of lunatic fringe where I've had death threats on Facebook over politics and stuff. And I go, yeah, bring it on, schmuck.
Yeah.
It ain't going to happen.
Right.
But,
I think we've all been in that situation already, you know?
It's that false sense of power that people have behind the screen, you know? It's like they're on their computer, like going diligently on stuff and like, show your face, motherfucker.
Right?
You know?
I would occasionally I would say something like, you know, okay, so you're in your basement now in your jammies. Your mom just brought you to Ovaltine.
Yes.
You know,
your hot cocoa with your
right?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
I think the best portrayal of that was South Park when they showed Stan's dad up there playing Boston records or Kansas records, typing because he's behind a computer going, I can make fun of everybody. And then when he gets caught, he's like, oh, I'm not private.
It's perfect.
Oops.
It's a perfect analogy.
Yeah. Well, those guys always hit everything out of the park. So, can you talk to us about your book? Because I'm really excited about that because that's my next purchase right now.
Well, I'll tell you, it started as an accident. When we did Phil Collins's first final farewell tour in 2004, there was talk during the tour that Phil was probably going to retire at the end of that tour. He was just kind of had it. And there was a bass tech that had been hired for me for the tour. Steve Winstead, his nickname was Chinner. And he didn't have much to do because I'm a really low maintenance person on the road. Some guys require constant coddling and babying. I don't need any of that crap. And so we had a kind of a running joke for like the year that we were on the road that, you know, he'd look at me and just shake his head because I didn't need anything. Well, I decided to take pictures of everybody because we had like 100 crew people out there. And I thought I may never see these people again if Phil retires because they're from all over the world. Well, the first guy I go to take a picture of is Chinner. And he's sitting at his laptop and I go, hey, Chinner, give me a smile. And he's just sitting there and all I get is, and he gives me the finger. So I looked at it and I went, oh, this is actually good. And so I went and I got Phil, I got his manager, Tony Smith. I got everybody in the band, all the crew, the caterers, the bus drivers, truck drivers, had about 140 pictures and I put them away, you know, and just tucked it away. Then a couple of years later, I went on the road with Toto and I thought, I'm going to do the same thing with these guys and got theirs. And then all of a sudden, when you start looking at like 250 of anything, it becomes a different vibe. And I just started at that point grabbing everybody I would work with, meet. I'd be on an airplane. I'd get the whole section on an airplane to flip me off. You know, all the people at baggage.
I bet that was really hard to do.
No, it's a real arm twister.
Yeah.
And so I've got like everybody's in there from Charlie Watts and Jeff Beck and Phil and James Taylor and the Taylor family to like I did a couple of albums with Bernie Williams, who was the center fielder for the Yankees, and I've got him and all kinds of and people like Lawrence Fishburne and Jeremy Irons and Jane Seymour and it's just all these people. Every time I meet somebody, I just say, "Come on, flip me off," and they go, "What do you mean?" I go, "Come on, flip me off." And so the
Here at the Roger the Wild Child Show, we'll be more than happy to abide by that.
All right, 1, 2, 3, let's go.
My buddy Craig Facebooked me today, and he goes, "Make sure you ask him about his work with Toto." And I was going to ask you, but you just said your work with Toto is flipping him off. So I'm good to go.
No, it was working with those guys. It was a real double-edged sword because I'd known them. Steve Lukather and I've been friends since he was 19 years old, and I've known the guys since they formed the band. And so on the one hand, I was so flattered to get the call to work with them, but the reason I was getting the call was really horrible, and that was because Mike Porcaro was suffering with ALS and he couldn't play anymore. And so he contacted me too, and he said, "Is there any way you could, take over?" And I ended up doing 2 tours with them. I love the guys. I love playing with them, but it was one of those things where the reason I was there sucked.
Yeah.
But being there was great playing with them. But it's just, I look back at everything, and everything's really been an enjoyable experience. I've had very little negative experiences in this business in all these years.
That's good.
And when something really sucks, then your option at that point is this: if they call you back, you say no. And you just walk away from it. But man, most people I've ever met in this business, and for me, because coming from a classical piano background, when I started working in the studio, I was a strong reader already. So I was doing TV and movies, and I would work with people like Streisand and Diana Ross, and for me, it wasn't just one trick pony. I got to work in kind of every single aspect of this business and still get calls for all of that stuff. So it's been a really good adventure, and now I'm totally motivated because then I can get them to flip me off.
Deborah's son is a bassist, right, Deborah?
Yeah, my daughter.
Oh, your daughter. Okay.
My daughter Bailey is getting ready to go. You don't happen to know Rock Mafia Studios in LA, do you?
I'm not familiar with them, but
yeah. So anyway, she worked there, and then she's a songwriter. She plays piano beautifully, but she plays bass, and she's going on tour to play bass. It looks
that's exciting.
So, yeah,
nice.
So I was really hoping that she could. I think she's in rehearsal right now, but
great.
Tell
her I hope she has a fabulous tour. And
I will. She'll watch this later. So,
any advice for her?
Just enjoy every minute. Just enjoy every minute. Yeah, you're number one in my book.
Yes.
Embrace it and enjoy every minute of it. I mean, this is a really magical world to live in, of the music industry. I mean, there's parts of it that suck, but when you're playing music with people that you really enjoy, then there's nothing better than that. It's like the Peter Pan syndrome. You're a kid forever.
You never grow up.
No.
See, for me, it worked.
I refuse.
Yeah, I just took all the reflective surfaces out of the house, so now it doesn't make me crazy. Some old dude broke into my house.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've never been musically gifted, but I enjoy presenting music to people because I have no talent at music. I've tried. I just don't. I can't. But I love listening to music, and I love sharing what I'm listening to other people. So
I'm the same way. I have so much appreciation for music. I love all classical.
Yeah.
I love soundtracks. Out of Africa is one of my favorite soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
I could listen to it over and over. It's funny too because my daughter and I started piano lessons at the same time.
That's funny.
And she went like this. She just went like this. I'm still 4 years later playing the same damn song. She's like a musical genius. And I'm like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
But, you can really see the difference with people and their gifts. So I have so much admiration for your musical talent. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. I look forward to getting the book, Everybody Loves Me book. I do. I look forward to it.
Yeah, the website. I had to create a website for it, and somebody had taken my name. So the website,
damn!
So the website is lelandsklar'sbeard.com.
I love it. Yes.
I was just going to ask you about that. It's awesome.
Yeah, and if you go there, I also have T-shirts with my beard on the front of them.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I gotta get one of them. My wife's gonna kill me. I gotta get one of those too.
This show's making you broke, Jim.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I know. Oh, and you also have your clubhouse too, so that's awesome too
Yeah.
up there.
I got to
Yeah.
follow you on Clubhouse now.
It's really cool. It's really every single video I have on YouTube has a link to both the book and to the Clubhouse. So just
Very
feel
cool.
free to check it out. I have a feeling my phone is going to be dying in a second here. It's came up.
That's all right.
Okay, you might cut out. Cut out.
If you
Yeah.
cut out that because you didn't like the show anymore, then these
back.
idiots.
I want us to get an apartment and all live together.
Yes,
I would be down with that.
Yeah, we'll
wish
just
I
get
lived
up in the morning
California.
and just go like this every morning to each other while we're drinking coffee.
Yeah, give me my hot cocoa and let's go tell the haters to fuck off.
I do. I feel like we're friends, and if I lived in California and I swung by, you wouldn't call the police on me. So, but I don't live in California, so don't worry.
we would be cuddling.
Oh, dream come true, Jim.
That's awesome.
Oh
That
my
is,
God.
yeah. This is awesome. Leland, you are an awesome individual and a great
Yes.
human. And thank you so much for
Thank
all of your
you.
contributions.
Appreciate
to
having
music.
you on the
You're
show
awesome.
today.
Everybody loves you.
Hey, oh yeah, one last thing, Leland.
Yeah.
One last thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody loves you, man. Everybody loves you.
For all of you listening to us on the audio version, we're all just flipping off Leland. That's all.
Okay, and if you ever need some filler crap, I'm available for you. To come
Oh
back.
yeah, most definitely.
Yes.
I would love it. I would love
We
it. You
love
guys-
that filler
You're
crap.
all the best. You're all the best.
Can you
You're
tell the
awesome,
weather?
Leland.
Can you give us the weather?
Yeah, could you do weather too?
It's outside.
It happens
Now my
every
dogs
day,
are- now my
people.
dogs are-
Every
Because
day.
Frankie's
Right.
going to need a night off, and so we'll just bring Leland in to do
Yeah.
the weather for us.
Weather with Leland.
Leland Sklar. Leland, thank you for joining us on the show today. It's been a pleasure having you on, and
An honor.
we'll definitely be following you, getting your book. All the links are on the podcast description that you could be able to check out Leland, watch his music, and so forth, and order his books.
Yep.
So awesome. Leland, thank you very
Have a good
much.
night,
You have
Leland.
yourself a great evening.
Take care, Leland.
Take care, brother.
Bye, Leland.
Thank you.
I am just.
Oh my gosh.
This is the highlight of my day. I'm just.
Hilarious.
Is it?
I'm serious. That was so much fun. He is such an awesome person because
Super
you don't listen. You don't know when you get a guest like that who, when you read the resume, you go, "Holy shit!" And
Right.
then you go, "I don't know what this guy's like." And I didn't have a chance today to look at YouTube videos. I was swamped. But like,
Well,
if
guess
I would have
what?
seen if I would have seen the YouTube videos, I would have known what he would.
I'm doing research and I've got all these artists and songs that he's been a part of. I'm like, holy crap. He's been around.
I Googled him and I was like, oh God, he looks like a really serious individual. And I
Yeah.
was looking at his stuff and then I hit on one of the YouTubes and I completely fell off my chair. I was like, wait a minute. He is like a badass. I love
He
this
is
guy.
a badass.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just amazing.
I
Amazing.
like, my first perception of him was so completely off. I was like, wow, I love it. I love when
And
that happens.
he just has fun with us. And that's cool
Oh,
that
yeah.
he's able to communicate and he wants to be in touch with the people out there.
Yeah.
And, and that's
That's
just
where
really
it's at.
cool as an artist. And, got fans and we're dealing with COVID. And now he's realizing the withdrawal of the fans, that the fans, no
Yeah.
fans, no music,
Nothing.
nothing. No.
It's amazing. Amazing.
I get that. I totally get that. So that's why I was like really cool when I was.
Thanks for
watching his
booking,
stuff.
Leland, Roger. Great job on that.
Yeah.
'cause
Hey,
he's just an
thank you.
awesome guy.
No problem. Anytime.
Roger the Wild Child.
Of course.
Wild card.
The wild card show. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next guest. She's an up and coming artist. She just released her first single. It is called Sunflower. She's getting ready to release an LP or EP. She's great. She plays every instrument except the drums. Okay. And
Wow.
please welcome. Yeah, that's right. She plays all the instruments in her music except the drums, and you will be surprised to find out who her drummer is. Okay, so please welcome onto the show. We have the newest recording artist, up and coming star. Her name is Devon Gordon, also known as the RoseCrumbs. Hi, Devon. How are you?
Good. Hi. Thank you so much for having me on
Devon.
this. Hi. Thank you.
Howdy.
And she's a New Yorker. She's like 10. She's attending, school.
Right.
Exactly.
She's like this great upcoming artist, and she's like a baby. Hey, I mean, are you old enough to be on this crazy show?
I do turn 22 on Monday, tomorrow.
Well, happy birthday. That's tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
You
yes.
say it's your birthday.
I remember 22.
Me
Yeah.
too.
I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good year.
Taylor Swift also remembers 22.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to bring it back to Taylor Swift. But
I'm
yeah,
waiting for when I turn 23 and I can use the Blink 182 song.
Nice, there you
as
go.
like
Oh, there
the
you go.
reference. So I got one more year to wait, but yeah.
I was going
Yeah.
to say, I don't think Taylor Swift's 22 is up Devon's alley.
It's not like quite my vibe.
Now
Devon-
you got to make a recording of it. You got to cover it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I got to do it tomorrow because that's the
Yeah,
only
tomorrow.
time it's
Exactly.
gonna
Right.
Devon,
So what
Devon,
is-
Devon
what
goes
is-
to. Oh, sorry. I just
Oh, go
wanted
ahead.
to say, Devon goes to Pratt, which is
Yes.
a really cool school in Brooklyn.
Thank
And
you.
ironically, that's where my oldest daughter went for the summer. And she almost went there to call. I know the school really well. It's a very cool
Yeah, definitely.
arty school and a great area. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you have a hard time balancing music and school at the same time?
Well, before quarantine, I was mainly focused on art because it is an art school.
Yeah.
And so I was.
Is that
mainly
the art
just-
behind you?
Yes. So this is one of my skateboard projects I did a few years ago. I used some paint pens for that. But I have always been doing music. I was classically trained in piano, and then I got my first bass guitar when I was 13. So music has always been something I've been super passionate about, but it was never before the EP that I'm releasing right now, something that I recorded. It was more, I sent to my friends and I was like, hey, check this song out that I did. I never put anything on Spotify before the single I just released. So I was super grateful to have quarantine.
7,000 downloads in 4 weeks since you
Wow.
released Sunflower. That is amazing, Devon.
Thank you.
And that's just another example of the technology we live in 2021, where you can just do that. Where Leland could tell you stories probably about in the 70s about how hard it was to break into the music business. And you're just like, hey, I'm going to record a song. I'm going to put it out there, and bam, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. I love technology.
Yeah.
So
I
what
mean,
inspired
honestly-
you with
oh, yeah.
Sunflower, which is your first song?
Yeah, I think for me, I've always been a fan of 70s rock, 90s grunge, like the dad music. That's like my sweet zone. So I wanted my music to reflect that. And
More
think-
psychedelic, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I just wanted to create this fun, riffy rock song that you could kick back with some friends, have a good time, something that was upbeat. So that was just the inspiration for that.
Okay.
Who inspires you?
Well, musicianship wise,
Yeah.
I have to say like Eddie Vedder, just because my first concert was
Nice.
Pearl Jam. So that's always like a special place for me.
Which tour did you see with Pearl Jam?
So I saw them when they played at Fenway Stadium. I'm forgetting the year, but I think it was like 4 years
You're too
ago.
young to
Okay.
be forgetting stuff like that.
Quarantine's like mess it up a little
Hesitant.
bit. It's
Right?
like, what is time? I don't even know.
Yeah.
But I saw them at Fenway. So I'm actually a really big like Steven Wilson fan. That's more progressive rock, Porcupine Tree, just to see how versatile he is in all of his instruments and like how he's able to create so many different genres within progressive rock and really fluctuate his sound. So I would say those two for sure definitely inspire me.
We're
lot
going
of
to play
others.
your song here in just a minute, but first,
Yeah.
you have a drummer, and I'm not going to say who it is. I want you to tell us,
Okay.
who is your drummer?
Stephen Perkins from Jane's Addiction.
Nice. How did you get hooked up with him?
So he's actually a high school friend of my mom's.
Wow.
Okay, so who's your mom?
My mom, Dana Gordon, shout out. But her best friend was Steven's like high school girlfriend at the time, so they hung out. And then her brother Eric was the bass guitarist in the original lineup for Jane's Addiction. So they were there at the beginning. So I was super hyped that he liked the songs enough to want to put his name on that as well, and to have that level of drummer beyond anything that I've released, let alone my first song, was just really mind-blowing.
And you play all the instruments in it too, don't you?
Were you a Jane's Addiction fan before?
Yeah,
you knew that?
definitely. Yeah. I definitely listen to their stuff.
Hey,
So
I'm always curious how that works out. I'm always curious how that does work out. Did you hear Jane's Addiction before you knew your mom was friends with him, or did you hear it after the fact?
Well, I heard it from my mom.
Okay.
My mom introduced me to this type of music.
God bless her.
Devon's
There you go.
She's a cool
Devon's
lady.
mom's got it going on.
Yeah,
That's right.
Definitely does. Definitely does.
We should have her on too.
I know. She's stealing the thunder here. Maybe I should pass it on to her.
Listen, I love your song, and I just heard it for the first time the other day, and I'm like, Jim and Deborah, you have to listen to this, and so we're listening. I'm like, I'm hooked. I'm already hooked on this song. I love the music. I love the singing. I love the energy in this song. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and play this song for the audience. Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right. So here is from the RoseCrumbs. It's called Sunflower. We don't have a video of it because it's not released yet. But here we go on the Roger the Wild Child Show.
I've got it all right over here, so you can sit right over there. Lend me your ear just for tonight. I promise I'll make it worth your while. Living for the moment, what you got 'cause I own it. Living for the moment, what you got 'cause I own it. Sunflower of the night, dancing under neon lights. God is such a wonder. Sunflower of the night, he waves can't compete. I can look away. Crushing is easy, loving is hard. Gotta get it right from the start. Gotta know when to stack the deck and when to play your hand. Living for the moment, what you got 'cause I own it. Living for the moment, what you got 'cause I own it. Sunflower over night, dancing under neon lights. God is such a wonder. Sunflower of the night, he waves can't compete. I can look away. Sunflower of the night, dancing under neon lights. God is such a wonder. Sunflower of the night, he waves can't compete. I can look away. There's wonder in the moment. Don't let it pass you by. There's wonder in the moment. Don't let it pass you by. Sunflower of the night, dancing under neon lights. God is such a wonder. Sunflower of the night, he waves can't compete. I can look away. Sunflower of the night, dancing under neon lights. God is such a wonder. Sunflower of the night, he waves, can't compete. I can't look away, can't look away.
Oh yeah. That's right. The RoseCrumbs.
Groovy, baby, groovy,
Thank
groovy,
you.
baby. You know,
I-
your mom and I would actually hang out.
Yeah.
We would totally hang out. You know
Oh,
that,
for
right?
sure. Yeah.
Totally.
yeah.
My daughter's 24 and 26, and my
Okay.
son is 27.
Oh,
so-
sorry.
No,
I forgot to
okay.
shut. I
You're
forgot to shut
shutting
the
me
eye.
They're
I don't
shutting
even
me
know.
up. That was
I don't
for
even know
me.
we were playing.
Shut Deborah up.
No,
That's
no,
right.
not at all.
No, never.
No, we know, Deborah, when we play music, you talk over it, so we're good to go.
Did you see? I caught myself. I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh.
All right, so I have a question for you, Devon.
Yeah.
Can I play your song on Chicago's Variety Station, which is an internet radio station that I run?
That
Can
would
I
be
play
amazing.
it on there? Okay,
Yes.
I will do that. I will
Well,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah, let's
as
put
many
on.
times as you want.
And he does afternoons. I do nighttime, Monday through Friday, and
Yeah.
we run the station together. So it'll be fun. It's
Yeah,
actually his
that'd be great.
station, but I help him with it. Like he helps me with my with the Roger the Wild Child show.
Awesome. Awesome.
I
yeah.
love the song.
And I just sit here and look pretty.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's all.
you do.
I just
Beautiful.
sit here and look.
I believe the word I used the other day was stunning. Stunning.
Thank you.
Deb is
Thank
stunning.
you.
Devon, the song is awesome. I hear so many, Roger and I were talking about it earlier this week, and I hear so many different influences there, and
Yeah.
I hear the psychedelic kind of sound, but I also hear
Mhm.
I do hear some of that like early '90s alternative sound in there
Oh, for
too.
sure, definitely.
It's got kind of like a meld of those two vibes, which makes it a very good song to just kind of jam out with, and like you said, have fun with.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely early Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes.
Right,
super
exactly.
Big Nirvana fan. Early Foo Fighters too, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
love that stuff.
Yeah, I love the early '90s alternative stuff. I wished it had a longer shelf life, but
I'm trying to bring it back. One song
yeah, I
at a
know.
time.
I hope you do. I mean, they now. Granted, they did kill my favorite style of music, which is hairband music. But
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm an '80s child, Devon. Come on,
Like Twisted Sister.
Right.
Twisted Sister,
Yeah,
Poison,
okay.
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But I did fall in love with it. I mean, I worked at radio stations where we played a lot of that stuff, and there were a lot of bands that we were playing that I hear.
Tesla.
Which one?
Remember Tesla?
Tesla was awesome, but I hear
Yes.
a lot of just what's the Silverchair. I hear like a lot of
Oh, okay.
Silverchair vibe in
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah.
It's just it's a very nice sound that brings you back to that time. So I love the record. I do.
It's it's an amazing song, and I'm so excited to listen to the rest of the other releases that you're going to be
Definitely.
coming out. Any tour dates planned yet, or what?
Not at the moment. I'm currently getting a band together to play live, so that's
Okay.
where I'm at. Just because I'm moving back into New York, so I think going back, meeting people, seeing that things on the local level are definitely opening up again. So touring locally, is New York City, so everything that happens there locally, makes it bigger.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm just excited to play out possibly.
Devon, they said if you can make it there,
You can make
You
it
can make it
anywhere.
Right.
Exactly.
So
Hey,
true. So
Now, you
true.
said you're going to school, right? Hit my
Yes.
microphone. Sorry. I got a little excited here.
You're going to school,
yeah, you're going to school.
Yeah, I'm a
He's a
student.
senior at Pratt.
Yes.
What are you studying?
So I'm studying
Art.
fine arts,
Fine arts. Okay.
he
drawing.
told us that.
Pratt is an art school.
Oh,
Keep
okay.
up.
Hey, let's ask this next hard-hitting question. Did you do the artwork behind you?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah. Yeah.
really?
Right there. Yeah.
Okay, Roger, you're cut off.
I'm cut off.
He's cut off.
Are you
Yeah,
going to use that
okay.
for an album cover at all or anything? Because I love it. I think
Ooh.
that is awesome. As soon as you popped on screen, I saw you and then the artwork, and I'm like, that is so cool. You should use that like
would
as
be
a
cool. Well, I did the album cover for this single, so going forward, I'm gonna do all the album covers. But I hadn't
Nice.
specifically had this in mind for any single.
Yeah, I just love it. I think it's great.
You know, I put the link to your song on Spotify on the description of this podcast. So anybody could click on the link and be able to get directed straight to her Spotify and listen to it. So for anybody out there that's listening on the podcast or watching the replays, feel free. Listen to the music, follow it, follow the band, follow her, and definitely support her.
Where'd you get the name RoseCrumbs?
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted this quirky, fun, offbeat name just because I am playing all the instruments and singing. I felt like it sounded more like a band sound rather than just a singer. So I wanted something that fit within the other names of the genres that I was going for.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
I do love, I just love that you found that sound from years ago and you're just kind of melding it. And I think it's great.
I heard the Red Hot Chili Peppers for the first time when I was 8 and I was instantly hooked. I was like, this is like what I want to sound like if I make music.
Right. Yeah, I just picked up some Chili Peppers on vinyl and I had it in here cranking the other day. It was just, it's so awesome. It's just, I do love that sound. Like I said, I'm a pop kid at heart. I mean, if you were to listen to Chicago's variety station, you'd hear probably about, I guarantee you'd hear probably about 20%, or now let me be honest, probably 70% of the songs you'd go, ooh. But I mean, we do, my station, I
listen to everything. I mean, I think it's good just as a musician to know what other people listen to and what's popular and what's trending, just to be aware of the scene, even if it's not your cup of tea.
Well, that's what, I love all types of music, and that's why I run this internet radio station. And I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. And I know that some people don't enjoy hearing Taylor Swift next to Red Hot Chili Peppers. But you know what? Damn it, I do. And there's a lot of people that do.
Exactly.
So you should be able to do that. You shouldn't be stuck in a box, you can only listen to this type of music. And
And that's when you get the really cool sounds.
According to our last guest, there are no rules.
Exactly. And when you mix and match genres that you like, you create this really cool sound from it.
Yeah, it's because the way I look at it, this is the way I look at it, is that if you were to make a mixtape back in the 80s, it was all sorts of sounds. And really, honestly, where that's kind of transitioned is if you walk into, say, a Target now or like a Walmart, anybody that has music playing overhead, it's not elevator music. It's regular popular music, but it's not like today's music.
Right.
It's music from 80s and 90s, and you hear like crazy stuff going into those stores now, like you never thought you'd hear. Like I forgot who I heard the other day, but I heard I
always get this one. All I need is just a little more time.
Oh no, I never hear that anymore.
Oh my God, I hear that all the time. I'm like, that's elevator music.
Yes, that's music.
Dancing in the moonlight.
Oh, that's a great song.
They play that one all the time.
No, it was Smashing Pumpkins. I heard Smashing Pumpkins in Target. It was I believe it was Perfect, the song.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I can see that. Like, but that's Target. I mean, you're walking into Target and your audience in Target, your shopping demographic is all over the place. So they're playing Smashing Pumpkins over their loud, their speakers next to Donna Summer. And it's like, okay, I get it. And that's what we do. So we'll be cranking your tune this week. I'm gonna get a copy of it and add it to
I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna dance to it on my reels on Instagram.
Awesome.
There you go.
Thank you.
And speaking of Instagram, I saw your Instagram live today, Deborah. That was hilarious. She's out jamming with your daughters, right?
I'm having love problems. And so I saw a photo of my ex. It just like popped up. And I was like, oh. And I got like, that icky feeling. And my daughters were like, come on, we're going to dance. And my daughter goes, you got to hear this song. And I swear to God, I felt so much better. I was like, yeah. No, I felt better. But yeah. So that was what that was all about. But I was like, I'm just going to let it rip. We had so much fun.
That's
awesome. I saw Instagram live. I go, Deborah's live. And I'm like, all right, let's see what Deborah's doing. She's dancing all over the place with her daughters and jamming out and rocking out. And I'm like, well, there's Deb.
Hey, Devon, do you like, this is just, me asking questions. Do you like the art or music? Where does because you're great at both.
Yeah.
Where does your passion, is it in the middle or, I mean, where do you prefer? Which one do you prefer?
I don't think I have a preference. I think that I need both in order to do either. I mean, I get that a lot from teachers being like, you should mix them. But for me, they're already mixed because in my practice, I'll go from doing a painting or doing a drawing and I'll hear this riff in my head and I'll be like, oh, I got to stop this. I got to quickly record this riff. And then I'll work on the song for a little bit. And then if I get stuck there, I'm like, I'm going to go back to that drawing.
Nice.
So it's the process where I mix it all
And you can
up.
use your artwork in your album and for the different songs. It's not like you did with Sunflower, which is really cool. And that's just
guess what? She has like this creative brain.
Yes.
So when teachers are trying to get you to like, they're not inside your brain. Like if you want to draw for 10 minutes and you want to pick up a guitar, like hell yeah, go for it. Like that's the kind of brain she has. She's like this very creative. I mean, she's at one of the finest art schools in the country, and then she's like ripping it out, playing music. I think that's pretty damn cool at your age.
Yeah,
it is.
definitely.
I do. And I love the tenacity of just going for it and just doing your own thing. It's great.
Exactly. That's what
I mean. I have all.
That's why I said your mom and I could hang out because I with my kids. I'm like, yeah, you do what's in your heart. Like,
no, that's what she's definitely like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have all this creative stuff going in my head, and then I just realize I'm tired and I go to sleep. So.
I feel that. Yeah, I'm definitely a night owl though, so that helps.
Me too.
I'm in bed most nights by 8.
So we should like end this relatively soon.
No wonder you're fading on us. It's past your bedtime.
Exactly.
No, I make sure that on Sundays I'm wide awake and ready to go.
I was gonna say you're in bed by 8, except on show night. That's the only time you're not.
God forbid we add another show with our big lineup.
I know.
It's funny. I was just talking to my wife about trying to stay up late. I was like, I'm going to stay. I was talking to her Friday night about it. I'm like, I'm going to start staying up later so I can have more energy. And yesterday I went to bed at 7:30. I know. I was watching a show, so I wasn't really sleeping, but
I got 2 hours sleep last night.
Oh, geez. I don't know how you function.
Because she has that thing at 4 a.m. when she's got to do that class that's like on the other side of the country.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Thank you. So, you do what
crazy.
you do. But, I'm like that too. Like my creative juices just happen to start flowing at like 10 p.m. when I'm trying to
Yeah, that happens too.
Like, oh, God, where's my journal? Here we go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, how come this couldn't kick in like 5 hours before?
Right, yeah.
I was sitting trying to get this going like 5 hours ago, and at 10 p.m. here it comes.
Exactly.
Like, okay.
Like, oh, you're trying to go to bed now? Now I'll work.
Oh, yeah. That's how my brain does work, Devon. I swear, I'll have nothing at like 7:30, and I'll just be like, all right, I'm gonna go lay down and watch a show, and I watch a show, and then when I shut the show off and I go to bed, it's like, boom, and I'm like, oh, I could do this, and I could do that, and I could do this, and yeah, I'm just tired. I've been there though. I've been 22 before, and I've been chasing a dream at 22, and I know the hard work you're doing and what you're doing to put into your craft. I know it. And I mean, I wasn't musically, but I was trying to do radio at 22, and I was, moving from, Chicago to small towns. And when you're passionate about it, you're going to do everything you can to make it work. And I can definitely see that in what you're doing. So it's great.
Yes.
That's awesome. Stay in line. Don't get out of line. Just stay in line. Follow your purpose.
There you
follow
go.
your path. Don't get sidetracked. You just stay on your thing.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing great.
Laser focus.
Amazing.
Has anyone told you, this is just a random question, but has anyone told you like, oh, I hear your music, but nobody likes that music anymore. It's progressive. It's kind of like, psychedelic. You should be doing this. Has anyone ever told you that? Or?
No.
Good.
Because I think since I go to an art school, so many people are already into
thinking
alternative, indie, different flavors of music. So it's, you're doing something different. That's sick. Let me hear that different thing that you're doing.
Different is good.
Yeah, different's definitely good. So I've been super grateful for that.
My daughter's a musician too, so I'm like totally feeling your vibe. She just she writes all her own music. She recorded an album. She's 2 years older than you.
Oh, dope.
So she's right in that little sweet spot that you're in too. And it's like, I know, I'm feeling now. Like, but you know, she is getting a little pushback. I'm like, oh, you should do this. You should do. And I'm like, you just stay in line and stay on what you're doing.
Definitely.
Yep.
Stay with what's in your heart.
Yeah, I'm definitely like, my friends are really supportive. After quarantine and everything, I saw them for the first time last week, and I went to my friend's apartment, and as soon as I walked in, he's like, wait, one second. He turns on his speaker and then he plays the single, and he was like, hey, it's you. So I was just like, you're amazing, dude.
Awesome friend.
Wow.
He is.
Yeah, you're the best.
That's awesome.
That's like hearing, like way back in the day, hearing your song on the radio. Like, everyone was like, oh, but you don't have to do that anymore. It's great because you can just put it up there. And then when people start listening, it just starts taking off. And you did that. Not any record company or anybody. You did that. So it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Devon Gordon, I am so excited to see where you're going with your music.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to be on this journey.
And you know what? We are definitely going to have you back on.
Awesome. Yes,
and bring your mother on too.
I definitely will.
Yeah, bring your mom on.
She'll rock out.
Oh yeah. You'll hit it off for sure.
And then we'll get your music on chicagosvarietystation.com.
Yep. This week.
This week, right there. chicagosvarietystation.com. All right.
It will be on. I'll add it to the playlist tomorrow night, so it'll start airing Tuesday.
Oh, we'll have to get her. We have to record her to do an intro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Hey,
amazing.
it's me, Devon, with the RoseCrumbs, and check out my new debut single, Sunflower. On Chicago's Variety Station.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Thank you.
Perfect. We will do that. We'll put that in the lineup.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Devon, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Devon. Devon Gordon, ladies and gentlemen, from the group The Rosebuds. Thank you.
The Rose
Oh my
Crumbs.
gosh.
Amazing.
RoseCrumbs. RoseCrumbs.
What did you say? Rose Gardens?
Rosebuds.
Rosebuds?
No, I didn't say Rosebuds.
You said rose buns.
Rosebuds.
Rosebuds.
It was rosebud.
I asked my wife to call me Rose Buns once, and she's like, no.
Have those rose buns, baby.
What's the name of the band? Rose Buns. Rose Crumbs. I love the song. I do.
I do.
I'm gonna do a reel. I'm gonna dance to it. I'm gonna like.
Yeah.
I love it.
I was jamming out in my car, listening to it and hitting it on replay. I'm like, you know what? I actually like this song.
I do.
This is actually really good.
that. I like that sound. I've always liked that sound of music. So I don't know if you could tell behind the wall, but I mean, definitely. You got Alice in Chains there. You got some Van Halen there. You got Prince. You got Tom Petty. I mean, that's me. That's me in a nutshell.
What were you celebrating yesterday, Jim?
Record Store Day, baby.
That's right.
Woo.
Yeah, I got the. I got Prince.
Those. What are they?
I got Prince and Tom Petty.
Are they left record stores?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot. They're coming back, Deb. They're coming back.
I miss going to the. That was like an outing. That was a date.
Yeah. Well,
you want to get a bite to eat and go to the Tower Record Store? I mean, that was a date in the.
Yeah, I miss Tower Records. I know.
You guys are browsing through, looking at different vinyls, and
run into people you knew. It was like a thing.
You can get lost just in a store, just flipping, flip. I mean, that's all you do. Flip. Flip. It's awesome. Yeah, I do. I got a couple of the record store releases yesterday. So the like I said, the new Prince is so amazing. It's an acoustic sound from him, and it's just Prince at his finest, and his voice is just Prince. And I'm just like, I listened to the record yesterday, and I said, damn, I miss Prince. Like I do.
God, don't even get me started.
Yeah. And then I went right to Tom Petty, and his album is called Angel Dream, right? Yeah, right here, Angel Dream. And this is a reimagination of some of the songs from the She's the One soundtrack, which was a great soundtrack in its right. But this album is fantastic too. And I listened to it and I went, damn, I miss Tom Petty. Like, what the hell? We're getting old sucks.
I know. You just named, like, in my top 5. Those two are in my top 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say Prince is in my definitely. Tom Petty, yeah.
I remember, so I was in high school when Prince, I was listening before, what was the album before Controversy? The first one where he was like, I want to be your lover.
Yeah. I think it was just called Prince, wasn't it?
Maybe. And so he opened for the Rolling Stones. Do you remember this? And they booed him off the stage It was
I
horrible
know,
because
I
he came
know.
out and they were like, "Who is this guy?" And he was like having sex on the stage and like like doing all this crazy stuff. And they threw stuff and booed him off. And what I find interesting, that was probably if you Google it, I think it was probably 77,
79, 19. Yeah, I was right. It was called Prince because I own it, but it was Prince. I was right.
and it was a crazy album. I mean, it was like,
1970. Oh yeah,
he was way ahead.
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic album.
Yeah.
I love Prince. I mean,
Oh
it's
my
just a
God,
great.
I loved.
Yeah.
Like I have.
So I do have
Everything about Prince from A to Z. I mean,
Yeah.
everything.
I do have
everything.
something to share.
Uh-oh.
So I did finally. So we were talking to Howard Bloom, right, a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And he's talking all about Prince, and Purple Rain and stuff. And I don't believe I mentioned it on the show, but I didn't have to tell people that I had never seen Purple Rain.
So you watched it for the first
Thank
time?
God.
So
You
I
cannot.
watched it.
That is
I watched it.
horrible. I hope you went and watched it 10 times.
I
You
never.
can't. As a matter of fact, stop. I don't think we can talk.
I watched it now. I've seen it.
No. 10 times, and then we can be friends.
I was busy. I was busy back then in '84. I was busy. I
my
was 12.
Give us your review on Purple Rain, Jim.
Well, in all defense, I was 12 when it came out, so I wouldn't have been able to go see it at the movie theater because it was 12 and there's boobies in
It was
it.
rated R, and
Yeah, there's boobies.
It was It was a little,
Yeah.
But I was 18 when it came out, and I sat in the movie theater literally 25 to 45 times in the theater.
Wow.
I saw it. I was mesmerized. His talent was just over the top.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a cult movie now. I mean, it's outdated when you look at.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, here's some trivia for you guys.
Okay.
Albert McNolly, who directed Purple Rain, directed his next movie was my ex-husband. It was a movie called American Anthem.
Okay.
And that's a cult movie too, because that movie opened the same weekend as Back to the Future and Indiana Jones, like all these blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
And then there was American Anthem. But the sad thing was that Albert McNolly was this famous director coming off of Purple Rain. And then he took American Anthem, which is a movie about gymnastics. And my husband was, the Olympic gold. You just came off the Olympics.
The husband.
I love that. That's so awesome. My husband.
And so he did American Anthem, and it bombed. They pulled it from the theaters. Back then, they would pull it.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
So now it's one of the most downloaded movies.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that one day too.
Yeah, and so anyway, that was Albert McNolly. He did Purple Rain and then American Anthem, and that was the end of his career.
Oh,
well,
wow.
Purple Rain, in my view, was a very good movie. I enjoyed it. I'd never seen it, so I didn't know what to expect.
In 1983, it was a phenomenal.
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Today,
it still is though.
Just,
I mean, it still
today
is.
It doesn't. It's not going to play till like my kids are
No.
whatever, like, but for me at 18, it was like, oh my God, it was the talent was.
Yeah. Well, I can now say I've watched it. So.
And what's your review of the movie overall?
It's a good movie. It's a very good movie. It was Prince at his finest, and I can definitely
I cry
tell
every time.
Yeah,
at
I
the
didn't
end.
cry. I mean, I didn't cry. I don't know.
Sure?
I'm just, no, I didn't. Maybe I didn't cry, but I mean, I know the music so well, and I know. I mean,
talk to me until you watch it 10 times and you cry at least once.
any movie with Morris Day in the motherfucking time is a great movie. So,
hello, how cool was that?
Right.
You know how many careers were built from that movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh no kidding.
Yeah.
God, what the drummer? I mean, he created so many people from his career.
Yeah, I'll put it right up there with Bill and Silent or Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back with Morris Day in the motherfucking time. That's all I kept saying. That's every time Morris Day came out, I'm like, it's Morris Day in the motherfucking time. I love the time. So it was a great movie. I'm glad I finally got to watch it. I own it now, so I'll probably watch it again over and over.
Good.
So,
Nice.
Yes, you need to study it. Give me.
Here we go.
I want the full report.
I'm gonna write a report on it for Dad.
Yes. Definitely, and we'll put a blog on it on the Roger the Wild Child page.
If we ever have Devon DeVasquez on, she wrote a book about Prince.
Wow. Okay.
So we got to have her on at some point.
Get her on. You got to connect with her. Her and Ron Moss. And Ron Moss is actually, he was with Bold and the
Player.
Beautiful.
And he was up with the band Player.
Player, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Baby, come back. I love that song. I love Player. So
nice.
You got Ron Moss with Baby Come Back. You got Jack Wagner with All I Need.
Oh my God.
Jack Wagner.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. If I could dig it out, it would be rude to our audience that's watching. But I just bought Jack Wagner's album yesterday with All I Need on it.
He's a very good friend,
I
too.
love Jack. You know what's funny is Jack Wagner had that huge hit with All I Need.
All I Need.
But I'm going to tell you this much: Weatherman Says is a much better song. Jack, I love All I Need. It's a good song, but Weatherman Says, which was his next single that didn't do very well at all. I love that song.
And
it's a fantastic song.
He does a great what do you call it when they do a remake
Mm-hmm.
or Dancing in the Moonlight.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a really good friend too, so we can get him on.
Oh shit!
Oh really?
All
right.
Love Jack. He's doing a really cool show right now on Hallmark called.
I used to watch him on General Hospital.
Yeah, Frisco.
Yes, Frisco Jones.
Yeah.
I used to watch. I'm sorry, I was a General Hospital soap person back when I was in high school because my parents would watch it. I would sit and watch it with them. Frisco and Felicia, the whole storyline.
Yeah. Do you remember, how many music careers were launched from soap operas? Rick Springfield. Jack Wagner, Michael Damian, who, by the way, I hung out with Michael Damian a whole day in Amarillo, Texas. We went and ate Cajun food together.
Really?
Oh my God. Michael Damian, I follow him on Facebook. I've always wanted to I would love to just go in and just say, hey, remember me, but I don't. Remember the time? And he'd be like, no. But yeah, I hung out with Michael Damian for a whole day in Amarillo, Texas. And one of the nicest people I have ever met on this planet. He could care less that I was a nighttime DJ in Market 200 and whatever it was. It was just awesome. He was such a fantastic guy. So, it's just amazing how many careers were launched from soap operas. But yeah, I have a Michael Damian story. So he's just an awesome guy.
All right, Deborah.
So let's get him on the show too, Roger.
Yep. All right, Deborah. Let's book Jack. Let's book Ron. Let's book on everybody else. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Bam. All right, Roger. I'm hitting it.
All right, hit it. Time. All right, guys. I want to thank y'all for joining us. Definitely want to thank Devon Gordon of the RoseCrumbs and also Leland Sklar, the legend, of course. Frankie McDonald, thank you for the weather. As always, Jimmy Knight, Deborah Driggs. We'll be back next week with brand new guests. Oh, yeah. Get to be prepared. All right. Take care, guys. We out of here.
Out.
See ya.
Roger the Wild Child Show!